Hello everyone, this is PG Creator back with another video. Today, I'm back in the arcade games lobby, so you probably know what this means. It's another ranking video, everyone. Today we'll be ranking all the arcade games from a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. And yeah, make sure to subscribe and let's do it. First on the list is Tetris Hole in the Wall. A wall is approaching and you need to place glass in order to match the gaps in the walls on your canvas in order to get the highest score. It's extremely simple to learn, but it also has a very high skill ceiling. You could get really good at this game, trust me. Hole in the Wall gets a score of... Okay, yeah, I'm not doing this again. Imagine you wanted to play FIFA or another soccer game that's actually good, but you don't have a console to play it on in just Minecraft. Well, don't worry, because football is an absolutely terrible alternative that is... you should just never play this. Half of the time you can't even see where the ball is, and when you can, it's usually out of your reach. The stadium is way too big and hard to navigate, like even with your huge double jump, you're not getting anywhere. Soccer is supposed to be an action game that keeps you on your toes. This game is slow and boring in every aspect of it. And for that, I'm giving it a rating of... Ah yes, my favorite arcade game, one in the Bounty Hunters. Try and shoot an arrow at someone for an instant kill, and if you miss, it's just another PvP game. I feel like they actively tried to make this as basic as possible. I mean, you could have put in special skills, you could have put in a double jump, like it's in 500 of your other games, come on Hypixel. Instead, they decided to make it a PvP game, not like they don't have enough already. In the end, it's just one in the chamber, but I guess it has a targeting system where you get bonus points when you eliminate your target, so this gets a... Draw something related to the subject, and then vote on the best one in the end. I mean, it's basically just build battle, except instead of building, you paint things. It's impressive how Hypixel made these drawing features in Minecraft, but why would you want to do this in Minecraft in the first place? Why can't you just do this on like Microsoft Paint or something? Overall, I think this is a worse version of Build Battle, but since it's still pretty good, I'll give it... This is the part of the video where I tell you to subscribe. Subscribe. Thank you. Back to the video. Dragon Wars is all about fighting other players in order to obtain your dragon. Killing other players allows you to get 10 seconds off your dragon cooldown, and once you get your dragon, you're basically unstoppable. In my opinion, this is what a PvP-based arcade game should feel like. You have special abilities and you aren't just carrying around a sword trying to kill people like normal Hypixel. Aside from your main weapon, which is an iron sword, you have the Wither Blast, which can be a ranged weapon in order to deal damage from afar, or heal in order to heal yourself and get your retribution against your enemies. I mean, it might not seem like much, but it really goes a long way to make it different from all the other PvP games. And you actually have an objective that you want to work for that could help you. A dragon that could wreak havoc on the land. Aside from the fact that you could drop all your items for some reason, this game gets a... The classic arcade game Spleef has been perfected by Hypixel, and is definitely one of the best, if not the best, arcade game in the arcade game lobby. This game has multiple power-ups with Ender Teleport and Ender Blocks. This game has multiple power-ups with Big Shot and Triple Shot. This game has a double jump. This is amazing. This is what Bounty Hunters could have and should have been. Hypixel has proved in this game that they can make a game interesting. Why didn't they do it for the other games? Some complaints I have are maybe the lack of variety in power-ups and maybe only one stage, but apart from that, this is basically perfect. And for that, this game gets a rating of... There are two teams in this game, the attackers and the defenders. The attackers have to get the droid to the end of the road, while the defenders have to make sure that does not happen. While I am happy this game is based on my favorite movie series, Harry Potter, it still has a multitude of problems. The attackers almost always win. The defenders have a really hard time actually defending because, like, there are just too many people attacking. And the kits, while pretty cool, they're pretty unbalanced as well because the soldier kit is by far the best one. The other two kits are just too focused on melee, and melee is kind of not that good when your other opponents have guns. The soldier kit even has a turret, which is ridiculously overpowered. I feel like too much work went into the modeling of the game and not actually balancing the game itself. So that's why this game is going to get a... In Throwout, you play as a pig for some reason, and you use a slime ball to knock your fellow pigs outside of the arena in order to rack up kills, and the person with the most kills wins. This would be an extremely simple game, which would be okay for arcade games, but for some reason they felt the need to add a percentage system like Super Smash Bros. The more percentage that you rack up, the longer you'll launch someone, which just makes this game overly confusing and weird. And this game has an extremely unbalanced power-up that basically lets you instant kill anyone, but hey, it does a double jump, I guess that saves it. This game has a rating of... Creeper Attack is a team game where you team up with multiple people in order to defend your trader from the merciless creeper attackers. It's a team game, so that automatically makes it a lot different than most of the other games. Because most of the other games you're competing against other people, this game you're teaming up with everyone in order to just achieve this one goal you all have. And instead of just getting stronger each round, you actually have a trader that could sell you things like power-ups, bows, swords, and maybe even abilities. It definitely makes this game more interesting than other games for sure. The game gets harder and harder as you go on, and it actually scales the difficulty along with the gear you actually have, which is something these arcade games rarely actually add. Overall, it's a pretty solid minigame, so I'm gonna give it a score of... Farm Hunt is basically the hide-and-seek of Hypixel. What do you mean there's already a hide-and-seek on Hypixel? This game is all about hiding as a mob in order to avoid being killed by the hunters, which are basically looking for the fake mobs. You blend in with the other real mobs on the map. If you're killed, you become a hunter, but I feel like hiding is a lot more fun. This game is a really fun hide-and-seek game. You could transform into other mobs, you could use taunts, you have a bow. The only problem is if you're found out, you really can't win. Brilliant hide-and-seek game. I'm giving it a rating of... Party games is an interesting case, because some of the games are really good and some of the games are chicken rings. I have mixed feelings about a lot of these games. Like, I think Spider Maze is a really good concept and a really good game, honestly, but not so much for canvas painting. It's kind of mostly luck-based, which makes me not like it that much. This game is perfect for people who just aren't good at Minecraft in general, because there's a very low skill ceiling on most of these games besides maybe the parkour-related ones. And despite all the bad games, this game is still really fun. I do recommend you play party games. Its score is lowered because of the bad games, but I'm giving it a score of... It's all about survival in zombies. You have to shoot zombies, buy new weapons, buy new gear, and try and survive as long as possible. There are varied power-ups, and there are also many areas you can unlock. The quality of this game is insanely high. They had to program all of these different enemies, program all of these different weapons. There's even multiple different maps. You could tell how much work they put into this game, and it's really amazing. I wish they did this for all the arcade games. An excellent first-person shooter in Minecraft. I don't generally like first-person shooters, but this game definitely made me like it. This game gets a rating of... It's bad. I guess the NPC mode of hide-and-seek is fine, but otherwise this game is kind of pointless. I don't really see a point of having hide-and-seek when you already have Farm Hunt, which is basically hide-and-seek, but it's better. And also, these games aren't really balanced. The prop hunt mode is really in favor of the hunters, and the NPC mode is really in favor for the seekers. Just don't play this game, there's no point, just play Farm Hunt instead. I rate it a... Imagine party games, but replace the party with boring and mundane and useless. Actually, maybe don't do that. That's not a very good name for a minigame. Hypixel says is basically a quick version of party games. You could finish it in 2 minutes, unlike party games which takes about 10 minutes. You also get the pleasure of playing in the same arena for the whole time instead of being in places that are actually interesting to look at. Games are also more boring, and the scoring system is unfair because in some games, when you complete the game, you don't even get any points for it. You might be thinking, isn't this game good for people who want to play party games but you don't have that much time? When are you actually going to be in the situation where you want to play party games but you only have 2 minutes? I mean, yeah, if you're bored with arcade games, I guess you could play this game, but I don't really see any other reason why you would want to play this game besides extreme boredom. This game gets a score of... You fight against 3 other teams that each have their own withers. If you kill another team's wither, they won't respawn anymore and you could finish them off. The last team standing wins. What can I say? It's a PvP game and it's a game based off another game. But for some reason, it's still fun. I don't know how. This is one of those games where it's simple, but it's still really good. I was honestly going into this thinking I would say it's going to be bad, but it's good. I really recommend it. I'm giving it a score of... From the minigame's name, you could clearly tell that this game is based on Roblox Zombie Survival Tycoon. And they actually did a really good job at replicating that eerie feeling. You'd think this game is just like zombies, but it's actually quite different. You have to gather ammo for your weapons, you can't really get new ones. You also have to eat, and you also have to heal, because zombies are everywhere. If you could survive for 6 minutes by salvaging the resources in the chests, then you'll be able to be rescued and win. You could also use a resource pack to make it even more like Roblox Zombie Survival Tycoon. I just decided not to. The blocking dead really makes it feel like it's a zombie apocalypse. And along with that, it's also a pretty fun game. I definitely recommend playing this game. I'm going to give it a rating of... Rounding things off, we have Capture the Wool. This game is a huge 70-player brawl where you have to capture the opposing team's wool, and if you do that, you win. There are so many strategies to this game. You could go close combat, or you could go bow spamming like I do. It also allows you to join midway, so you don't have to just wait for 70 players to join a game in order to play. This game is excellent for learning more PvP tactics, and just a good game in general if you're looking for some high-action gameplay with so many diverse things that can happen. It honestly never gets old. This game gets a rating of... And that's all the arcade games ranked. I'm finally done with this video.
Are you forgetting someone?
Huh? Who? What was that?
It's me, Halloween Simulator.
No, not you. You're not a real arcade game. I'm not ranking you. No.